right, divide my radicals. Remember how we had the little property that does this? And we said we can go either way with it. And that's how we've simplified. That's how we get it broke down. Oh my gosh. Excuse if I don't know. All right, so we're going to use the same property with division and split them up. Okay? Or maybe put them together. It just depends on what I've got. And the root itself doesn't matter. If this is a 5, as long as these are 5s as well, I can go backwards and forwards with that. So whatever that root is, I should put an N since I put an N to start with. So I'm going to show you a couple examples. Okay. I'm not going to pass these around. Yeah. Well, but it might be, like, for instance, I feel like we have done divisions with just square roots, haven't we? Right. How about dividing by like 1 plus the square root of a number and multiplying by the conjugates? No? Okay. Let me just run through it all real quick. Here, so part of the issue here is because I'm dividing by a square root, right? We talked about multiplying the top and the bottom by the square root of 5, but really I don't have to do that here because since these are both under the same radical, I could make this 12 divided by 2 is what? 6. Then I could put both of these under the same radical so that 160 divided by 5 is what? 32? Is that right? Now I could work to split this up. So I wouldn't have to go through all that rationalization. 8 and what? 16 and 2. Square root of 16 is what? 4. 6 times 4 is 24 times the square root of 2. So that's kind of a review, right? What happens if I throw in some other roots in here, for example? By the way, some of you lost a couple points in your quiz yesterday because you didn't put the root here. If you don't put the root, then it's a square root, right? And that can be bad because that's completely different. All right, let's say I have this. Oh, make this 36. Just make it a 6. How do you make it 34? Just keep writing over it till it's dark. Like that. That's what I do too. That's why I always write with pencil. All right.
All right, Lily.
So I can do 36 divided by 9, yes? Malaya said both. And I can put these both under the same radical since the roots are the same. Okay, that's your key is the roots are the same. What's 1250 divided by 2? 625. Is that a perfect fourth? Yes. What's the fourth root of 65? So 4 times 5 is. That's it. Not right now, no. Let's focus on simplifying these. Let's do one more and see. Well,
what if you put in design? Like, what if it was
what happens?
oh, it's not all
I could make this the fourth root of 32w over the fourth root of 81, and we've been working with things like this, right? What times itself 4 times goes into 32 evenly? Fourth power.
Oh.
16, right? 16 and 2. So the fourth root of 16 and the fourth root of 2, and that w still under there, right? How about 81? So I'm literally just doing this. Yeah. Well, the w stays under the radical. It's 3. That's exactly right, Trevion. Well, the one that stays under the radical gets the w because the w stays under the radical too, right? What times itself 4 times gives you 81? Yeah, just like that. Y'all okay? That's just the answer. That's right. All right. Nope. Let's simplify everything we can before we do anything else. So what do you see that can be simplified? The 12. Definitely the 12, right? How does it split up? Okay. So that would be, let me just put it right at the top here. Yes, 3 and 4, which would mean 2 root 3. What's the problem now? I got a radical in the bottom. How do I get rid of a radical in the bottom? Times it by, I heard times it by itself. So am I going to multiply by 2 root 3? Just the square root 3, right? Because that's the only thing that's causing me problems. So I'm going to do square root of 3 and square root of 3. Now watch what happens. Up top, I got to distribute, right? Now I've got to remember what we did yesterday and the day before where we were multiplying radicals, right? I've got a 3 outside. And what do I have under the radical? 6, right? And that next one, square root of 18. And what happens here on the bottom? It's a 2, but what's the square root of 3 times the square root of 3? 3. That's right. So this bottom's going to be 6. And I'm still not done. Why am I still not done? I can simplify. What simplifies? Not yet. The 18, right? How does it simplify? Square root of 18.
Oh.
I got.
9 and 2.
Oh, sorry. I'm up here listening to Malaya. Yay, dang. Now I need to see if I can simplify. See how we're bringing kind of everything together when we do division? No, because those aren't like radicals.
Oh.
But what I can do I've got a 3, and a 6. I can simplify. So what does it become if I divide everybody by 3? There's my final answer. Don't start messing under those radicals now. Only the numbers that are outside of the radical, as long as you can divide every single thing by something. Say again? We divided everything by 3. Last little thing and I'll be done. We talked about this with complex numbers, but not necessarily with this type. Let's say I have the square root of 3 over 1 minus 4 square root of 2. And I need the radical out of the bottom. I can't just multiply by square root of 2 because there'd still be a radical down there, right? You're close. I multiply by what we call the conjugate. Y'all remember doing the conjugates? We did it with the complex numbers, and all we did was change the number in the middle. So the conjugate of this would be 1 plus 4 root 2.
So 5 square root.
So you just change the middle sign. Now what happens is when you multiply conjugates, the radical is going to cancel out. Let me show you what I mean. If I come down here and I say times 1 plus 4 root 2, and if I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top, right? So I get myself in kind of a FOIL situation on the bottom. And I'm going to do the bottom first so you see, because I told you the radical. Remember, that's the whole goal, is that there's no radical in the bottom. What? Yeah. Because it's a number plus or minus a square root. All right, so I got 1 plus 4 times the square root of 2 minus 4 times the square root of 2 minus, what happens when you multiply these two together? So we just did this yesterday. What is 4 square root of 2 times 4 square root of 2? 16 times what? Times 2. Right? And up top, I end up with square root of 3 plus, what do I get here? 4 square root of 6. Remember, you multiply the numbers outside together and multiply the numbers inside together. Now I can start cleaning it up a little bit and see what happens. I got 2 radicals up top. Is that okay? Yeah, sure, I can have all the radicals I want in the top. It's the bottom. These 2 at the bottom and the middle cancel. You're absolutely right. 16 times 2 is what? 32. So what's 1 minus 32? Yeah. What do you think? A lot of this is stuff we've done, right? Or pulling everything together. All right, I'm going to set you